You've heard the story of the blind men and the elephant. Each touches a different part of the elephant. Each is convinced that their perception defines the whole. A wall, a rope, a tree trunk. Each description is true, yet incomplete. The parable reveals a profound truth. Our understanding is limited by its framework.
So, you're saying that human perception is always only partial perception?
Yes, and nowhere is this more evident than in the ways we attempt to categorize personality. We build typologies, systems that claim to explain who we are. Each model, whether it's astrological or it's psychological, or it's cognitive frameworks, it offers insight. Yet like the blind men, each sees only a part.
But aren't these models useful? They help us understand ourselves?
Of course, they provide structure, language, and direction. But when taken in isolation, they become confining. A person may resonate with a particular classification, believing it defines them. Yet life is fluid. People change, circumstances shift, and rigid identification with any single framework can limit self-awareness rather than expand it.
So how do we avoid that? How do we use these models without being trapped by them?
Integration. We acknowledge that no single system holds the full truth. Instead of committing to one perspective, we weave multiple frameworks together. Where one typology explains personality structure, another may illuminate emotional patterns. Where one maps developmental milestones, another captures existential struggles. Together, they paint a richer picture.
But doesn't that get overwhelming? Too many perspectives can be confusing.
It can be, if approached rigidly. But integration is not about amassing data. It's about holding perspectives lightly, allowing them to inform rather than dictate. Think of it like assembling a mosaic. Each piece contributes to a greater whole, but no single piece defines the image. The key is flexibility. Instead of fixating on a single identity, we embrace a dynamic view of the self. The blind men argue over who is right, but wisdom comes in stepping back and recognizing that each viewpoint contributes to a larger understanding. True self-knowledge isn't about labeling oneself. It's about continuously expanding one's perception.
But what about certainty? Don't people need something solid to hold on to?
Certainty is an illusion. The need for absolute definitions often stems from fear. The fear of the unknown, of ambiguity.
So the goal isn't to define or try to capture by defining something, but to explore it, right?
Yes, to explore with curiosity, to question assumptions, and to remain open to new insights. Personal evolution means outgrowing certain perspectives. What feels like an absolute truth today may later be seen as just one step on a longer journey. Wisdom isn't in holding on to certainty, it's in knowing when to let go. What once felt essential might later seem limiting.
That sounds liberating, but also challenging. How do we trust in our own understanding?
Trust comes from within, from cultivating an inner relationship with your own evolving awareness. Instead of relying on external definitions to provide stability, you develop an inner compass, one that can hold multiple perspectives without being bound by any single one.
So that's the parable of the blind man and the elephant, right?
Exactly. The elephant represents the vastness of human understanding, and while no single perspective captures it fully, each perspective offers a doorway to a deeper truth. So we go beyond the elephant, beyond the framework, beyond the need for absolute certainty. Not to dismiss what we've learned, but to continue learning, to remain open, to integrate, and to see that the journey of self-discovery is never about reaching a final answer. It's about awakening to the endless depth of being.